At the contours of Horizon 2025, we must confront a pivotal reality. Innovation is no longer a future, it is the present, according to me. But innovation untethered from ethics and law can erode the very progress of its promises. This address is a call to all harmonized digital acceleration with principled governance and responsible scholarship. About me, about today's title, The Fulcrum of Digital Civilization Governing AI, Elevating Law and Ethics. And the subtitle is Where Digital Innovation Meets Ethical and Legal Stewardship. Myself, Dr. BIPIN Kumar Shah, affiliation to Yorkshire Research University, ABMTC, where I was given my doctorate. And I'm happy to say I'm layperson with Institutional Ethics Committee with a very reputed chain of eye hospitals, one of its units near my residence. And yesterday, second half, it was my pleasure to attend the meeting as a layperson. And I'm senior consultant, oil and gas, and visiting faculty. And with this, I start my today's presentation. Now, brief extract about this today's keynote address to set the tone. This keynote explores the pivotal intersection where artificial intelligence, legal foresight, and ethical resilience converge to shape the future of society. As AI redefines the governance, healthcare, justice, and autonomy, the session highlights the urgent need to balance innovation with foundational human values. Drawing from regulatory insights and philosophical inquiry, it proposes a framework to govern with integrity, designing futures that are as ethical as they are intelligent. So this was my brief abstract to set the tone. Now, if you see, this is a fulcrum. Why fulcrum? You may call it as an aim or an objective or a research question for this keynote address. There are two sides of the fulcrum. If you see on this fulcrum, the left hand side is innovation, the right hand side is ethics. Innovation represents the technological advancement, digital transformation, AI, data analytics, driving for efficiency, connectivity, and progress. It fuels economic growth, enhances access to services, and reshapes industries. In responsibility side is ethics. Embodies the ethical governance, legal safeguards, human right, privacy, accountability. It ensures that innovation respects the societal values, protects individuals, and prevents misuse of or harm. So this fulcrum is dynamic. It shifts as society evolves. For example, the rise of generative AI has tilted the balance, prompting urgent call for ethical framework and legal clarity. Findings. Now, what are the findings? When I started doing the research, because each and every keynote is a challenge for me, because I have to do a lot of research as other people do. Now, how we have grown globally, I'm not talking about India. It's a global platform. The global digital economy reached 16 million US dollars in 2024, comprising 15% of global GDP. That is how we have grown globally digitally. Internet penetration hit 67.9% with 5.56 billion users globally in early 2025. Hold your breath. Mobile connectivity surged to 5.78 billion users with smartphones making up to 87% of the devices. And let me tell you one thing, I'm not exaggerating. You will find smartphones with your vegetable vendors and the housemaids and the house help and whatnot. And social media usage climbed to 5.24 billion identities, representing 63.9% of global population. That means we are advancing. But with this, there is a pinch of salt. You will ask how? What are the consequences? Data breaches, cyber security risk. In 2024, 5.5 billion accounts were breached globally, 8 into higher than in 2023. There is a comparison. So data breach is always increasing. It's increasing. It's a pain for everyone because with the pain, with the gain comes the pain. China, Russia, and US accounted for 46% of all breaches. Europe led in breach density with Russia topping at 6,400 breaches per 1,000 people. That is the density. The average cost of a data breach rose up to US dollar 4.88 million, with healthcare and finance sectors mostly affected. This is what is the data breach. Exactly what is I have taken from the authentic sources. Now, if you see, let me tell you a case study, because I have a limited time, 20, and I don't jump the time, because there are other speakers. If you see that Facebook Cambridge Analytica, there was a data exploitation. Ethical issue was consent ban without the consent of the individual owners of the data. They were filed, the court cases were there, and they were fined US dollar 5 billion fines with reforms. Google's incognito mode, consumer right violation, misleading privacy claims, same, US dollar 5 billion. Amazon AI hiring tool, algorithm bias, gender discrimination, and tool is discontinued now. Uber Godview, surveillance abuse, unauthorized tracking, internal reforms and litigation. Now, these are some of the cases which I would tell you we are growing and we have to grow. But with that comes ethical hacking, unethical hacking, cyber security. Lot of risks are there for us today. Now, if you see, these are the three pictures of the fulcrum. I have shown you a normal one, the middle one. The top one, if the innovation comes down, because of lot of ethics, what happens? Innovations will not happen and we cannot afford to happen that. The middle portion or the middle, this fulcrum is good for us. But now here, today we are innovating. If you see the figures, we are innovating, but ethics wise, we are gradually coming down globally. So this is what is the representative picture to make you help understand what is happening today. Now, what has actions prompted out of this breaches worldwide? Governance. There is a digital governance coming into place day by day improvement is there. OCD and UNACTAD. Now, what is OCD? Let me tell you. OCD is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It is an intergovernmental organization with 38 member countries, founded in 1961 to stimulate economic progress. Then UNCTAD. It's a United Nations Trade and Development. It is intergovernmental organization, and with nearly 138 or 180 countries members, and it was established in 1964 to take care of the trades across the globe. They also have emphasized the need for digital infrastructure for each member country, ethical AI and cross-border research security frameworks. It has gone up to that level. The Digital Evolution Index 2025 highlights disparities in digital competitiveness, with Europe showing 3-speed transformation and China leading the mobile-first innovation. This is the digital evolution. The Trust Globe Code of Conduct and European Code of Conduct for Research Integrity are gaining traction to address the ethics in resource poor and AI augmented research environments. So this is the thing. Worldwide, the emerging governance trends are happening, and we are also taking a cognizance of the same. What is happening in India? Legal milestone and ethical gaps. India's regulatory milestones, IT Act 2000 foundational, but no longer adequate to govern the contemporary technologies like AI and blockchain. I believe the government is working on that and they are making it very strong. DPDP Act. DPDP Act is nothing but it's a Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, popularly known landmark legislation that advances data privacy, yet criticized for weak consent norms and government exam. Of course, the work is going on day-to-day basis. And Digital India Mission, ambitious and transformative through ethical governance of open data ecosystem, remains limited. So there are legal milestones, but there are ethical gaps as well. Constitutional adoption of global benchmark. Puttaswamy versus Union of India elevated privacy to a fundamental right, laid the groundwork for digital rights for jurisprudence. Now, it was a landmark judgment. In August 27, 2017, a 9-bench Supreme Court judge unanimously held that privacy is a fundamental right under Articles 14, 19, and 21 of our Constitution. So it has to be noted by all across, not only in India, but abroad, that privacy is a right and it should not be breached upon. European AI Act 2024 sets precedent for classifying high-risk AI and mandating with algorithm audits. IEE. IEE is a world's largest technical professional organization dedicated to advancing technology for benefit of humanity. It's based in USA and has a presence across the country. In India, Bangalore, they have a regional office, and its key objectives is to safeguard individuals' right to privacy and enable lawful processing, establish a governance framework. So this is what is happening currently, and the things are being put on the right. But however, one has to be very careful. That is what is my personal opinion. Next steps. Challenges for researchers, academic integrity and digital research. AI generated citations, law firms and research stations sanctioned for fictitious references. It is happening. OkCupid dataset release. Profile data of 70,000 users shared without consent, sparking a global outrage. OkCupid data was a dating app. And two researchers in May 26,000, they breached the data set. Data from 70,000 users were made public with 2,620 variables, including age, gender, location, preferences, religious, political views, and answers to 1,000 multiple choices. So there the action was taken. Peer-based review basis. Tool penalize grammatical errors disproportionately affecting the submissions from non-English speaking regions. So this is all one of the things which is happening in some parts of the globe. It's not happening in India. That is what I understand. But this is also one thing, that the fake peer reviews have been taken. So my job is to just enlighten you. And recommendations to the Horizon 2025 stakeholders: mandate cross-sector ethical audits for all digital research and tech interventions. Integrate digital ethics modules in postgraduate and doctoral programs across discipline. Establish AI usage policy frameworks in academic publishing and governance. Adopt global benchmarks by EU AI, IEE, UNDP ethics model with localized context. Promote ethical innovations through CSR-linked digital grants and public-private partnerships. It is the need of the hour. My closing statement. Most humbly, I would like to make a closing statement. Digital progress must not be a solitary sprint. It must be a collective marathon of responsibility. Let Horizon 2025 be remembered not only for its ambition, but also for its ethical wisdom. Dr. Sir, thank you very much for conducting such a prestigious Horizon 2025, where views and ideas are exchanged. And finally, innovation must serve humanity, not compromise it. Let us legislate, educate, and collaborate for a digital age that is intelligent, inclusive, and just. These are the references. You would have seen a lot of papers and other things I have referred. And thank you from my side. I will appreciate questions if anyone has to ask me.